Hello, my viewer. Have you ever thought how many times you get angry in a day? Do you get angry once in a day? Thrice in a day? 10 times in a day? 15 times in a day? Or how many times do you get angry? And is anger always a bad thing? In the book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 26, it says, "In your anger, do not sin." So what does that mean? It means that it is possible, it is okay for one to get angry. But what comes after that, that is what really matters to the lives of human beings. This episode, we are going to look at the various issues surrounding anger. People have talked about anger issues. People have told other people, you have anger issues. You get so angry. You burn your fuse very fast. It is anger that makes that person to behave like that. We have seen families lose loved ones. We have seen careers go down the drain because of anger. But is there a positive side of anger? And this day, we are going to look at what is anger in terms of the frequency and the effects, and how can we be able to navigate through so that we can live healthier lives. As I always say, Health Now Show is your health friend that looks into all aspects of your life, and so that you can live quality and healthier lives. Today, I have a guest. And this guest is going to take us through. My guest today is not new. She's not new to us. She has been here. And she took us through a very important topic. That is parenting our elderly parents. She is Jennifer Wangari.
Thanks, Jane, for allowing me to be here. And today we are going to talk about anger and what it entails.
Asante sana. Na karibu. I'm very delighted to have you.
Thank you.
As I said, you're a psychologist.
Yes.
And you're practicing psychology.
Yes.
You're practicing counseling.
Yes.
You are living in a communities. You're interacting with people.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue of anger is something that sometimes we push back.
Yes.
And we are like, I don't want to be identified with anger.
Yeah.
I don't want to be said that I get angry.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine,
Mm-hmm.
even the Bible talks about
Yes.
in your anger.
Yes.
Because it acknowledges there will be anger.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
this session,
Yes.
we want to dive into that and ask ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
first, can we be able to identify and define what anger is?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you, Jane.
Yeah.
You know, when I was thinking about this topic of anger, I tried to get to cutting across everything that happens in life. Anger is very natural. And I was listening to myself as I thought about sometimes we know that even God gets angry with us and we get his wrath. At times, when you go to the Bible and talk about when Jesus went to the synagogue and found that people were trading, and this is his father's house, and he was like, no, this cannot happen. He acted in anger as he threw those people out. And so it is very human. It is very natural for a human being to get angry. This is a feeling of, you feel that you have some energy in you that is maybe in a negative way. That's what I would say. But then again, we can convert it and use it in a positive way. So it is a very, very strong feeling and emotion. It could even be among the most strongest emotion that we have. And you find that sometimes because of where we are coming from, some people are going to define it like we should be ashamed of getting angry.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, as I've said, it is natural.
Yeah.
So it is human.
Yes.
Yes. And we find that anger comes in from other emotions. We have primary emotions that would have happened, and we just keep them it's like we are shelving them somewhere.
You're filing them.
Yes, yes. We have really a heap. Sometimes it might not even be that heap.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be one primary emotion that has been with you constantly.
Yes.
For example, let me give a good example.
Yes.
When you find that someone is frustrated,
yes,
like just the way, let me take an example of a baby, a child who is just training themselves to walk.
Yes.
They're holding on to things. And maybe one stool is away from the other. And they are trying to stretch their hands so that they can.
Yes.
And then they try it again and again.
Yes.
So within maybe 3-4 minutes, they get frustrated. I can't reach that. So it has happened to us even as adults. You find that there's something that you're trying, and it is really making you feel like, no, you mean I'm not, so you get frustrated. So when you stay with that frustration, it is in you have not dealt with it. So at the end of the day, you find yourself getting angry. And sometimes we get angry with ourselves. Other times we get angry with other people. And times we even get angry with God. And situations, you find that, like I'm saying, for example, this child who is so frustrated about stretching their hand, they can't reach the next stool. They are angry with the situation. When we are adults and we are finding that I am in my middle age and I have crisis, they are not going away. I don't know how to deal with them, and I get so frustrated. That's a situation you find yourself getting angry. So it is important first to know, where is this anger coming from? So we start with the primary emotions. I've just mentioned one.
Yes.
We have grief. We have sadness. We have being rejected, feeling unloved. I'm mentioning just a few of the primary emotions.
Yes.
So anger comes as a secondary emotion in us. So something will have happened. We'll have brought out emotions and feelings. And then if it is prolonged in us and we are not dealing with it, we get angry. Yes.
Okay. So it is not a one thing. It is a build-up.
Thank you. Yes,
it has some underlying issues that builds to it.
Yes.
Before somebody boils out, if I may use that word.
Yes.
There is a process.
Yes,
it is a process.
Yes.
Okay. Now let us now get to define. Are there types of anger? Or are they the same thing? If it is anger, it's anger.
I would define the types as, maybe I would put it in maybe two.
Okay.
They're very broad.
Yes.
I'm putting them in very broad types.
Yes.
One is self-oriented or what do they call
Directed.
Directed anger.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is the anger that we have within ourselves, and we have made a decision that I am getting angry with this. So it is coming from me, or coming from my environment, or coming from what I am doing, the actions, and then I decide I am going to get angry. So I am the one directing, I'm the one controlling it, and to what extent. And you see, this anger, we don't purpose. You just can't wake up in the morning and say, today, as you're saying, no. You find that it is maybe the activities that are within our lives, the things that are happening within us. What is the environment giving us? What are the people in the environment bringing in? So I decide unconsciously, because I will not purpose it, and as I take my cup of tea,
get angry now.
So it is very unconscious, but it is a personal decision that someone takes. And now that is self-directed. And you see, when it is self-directed, you sometimes find that you might vent it, or you keep it inwardly. So that could be one cluster of a type. Then we have the other type that we always talk about, that they have made me get angry. That I said I'm putting it in a very broad way. Yes, they have made me get angry. Why did they do that? And you see, why did that happen? And you see, when we get angry with the other people and the environment and the things, because we think that they have done something, it is because there's something you are expecting. What are your expectations about the other people? So our expectations mostly are the ones that are going to get us to decide that I'm going to get angry with Jane. I'm going to get angry with God. I'm going to get angry with the environment. I'm going to get angry with that dusty road that I have just passed in the morning, and my shoes were dusty as I got to the studio. I'm just giving an example. So that's another cluster that holds, decisions that we make as individuals.
Yes.
And anger cuts across. Remember, I've talked about that, baby.
Yes.
So you can imagine that at 0 to 1 year until old age.
Yes.
So there's this other cluster where what is this that is, what stage are you in life? Because our stages in life, they can also bring out the anger that I can fight myself with. What are the tasks in it? Am I able to you see, what is the expectation of this stage? What is it? What are those tasks? So my expectations now are going to make me feel like I am not. So I get frustrated.
Yes.
Sometimes even unknowingly, I find bitterness in it because I jumped something. I did not negotiate some tasks. And so I'm in another, and I'm wondering, where am I? For example, let's take an example of a teenager.
Yes.
A teenager will try to find out who they are with identity, knowing their names. Why did they call me this name? Who are my parents? Why don't I look like the people around me? Why you know, what is happening in me? So if they don't get out of that and they negotiate it very well, when they go to young adulthood and they're trying to create intimacy and very close relationships, and someone tells you, by the way, you don't look like you. Mi niliangalia kwenu, I didn't see like you look like anybody. So out of that, sometimes they get very annoyed. Sometimes they get bitter. Sometimes they are frustrated because of the statement that came from someone else. And because they have not handled it in teenage, and now they are in young adulthood, you find that they bring anger out of it, and they are like, I will not even get into relationships. Why for? Why are they? Why should I? Because if this is the question that they will always ask me, I would rather not. Yes.
Okay. Broad.
Yes.
It's not limited to the age.
Yes.
And that is why I think we talk about the terrible twos, because it starts from there, goes on until old age. Yes. Now, broad categories of anger. Self-directed, others directed.
Yes.
Now, what is this? What are these issue of now that what does it entail? If it is the one that it is internalized or from inside, what are some of the issues that it entails? I'm angry. What does that mean?
You know, when I say I'm angry, there are things that I'm feeling. Because so that I can bring out the statement, or I can do something, an action.
Yes.
There's something maybe I'm feeling, or there's something that is happening in my body. And sometimes you find that, just as I said, our expectations mostly, they are the ones that are really going to affect how I feel. And if they're angry, even with intensity. So you find that one, you'd be feeling like you're boiling.
Now condemned.
Yes. In fact, you hear people say, as you said, they have burnt the fuse.
Yes.
And because of the imaginary burning and fire that is in us as we do that. But where does that one comes in? It goes to our stomach. This is where we feel like that there is burning. We produce a lot of, it's because we produce a lot of acidity at that time.
Yes.
When you're feeling like I'm burning.
Yes.
And you feel like you have a lot of energy. You know, and now this energy, remember, because anger is negative, you find yourself now, it will not be something positive, and you find that you even do an action that is negative sometimes.
Yeah.
And when you're at this place and you're feeling that the acidity has gone up, and you're saying that you're boiling, your heartbeat raises up again, because now the body is trying to keep up with the feeling. Yes. That is there. Something else that is very interesting, Jane, about anger. Anger is an emotion that can constantly be at a place and never goes away, never gets diluted. And you find that it's still in me. This is a second day. Yes, this is a second day, and I'm still burning because I have not dealt with it. I have not acknowledged, I have not identified that I am angry, and decided that I want to walk the journey of dealing with the anger, or even reversing and undoing and unlearning what had happened to make me angry.
You see, the very important point is that you have to identify that you're angry, because there is this covering that sometimes you can just be, yes, Jennifer has angered me. Yes. But that's it. But how to identify that you are actually angry
Mhm.
and you need to work on it.
Mhm.
I think that's a very important point that you've made there.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
It's very important.
Mm.
So anger, you know, yeah, and then just as we are talking about, I'm feeling, I mean, the acidity is going up.
Yes.
So you find that at one place you feel like your stomach is bloated, and you're wondering, what is all this about? I have not eaten anything that is stale, but it's because of the acidity that is in you, the reaction that you're having. People will get some heart problems out of the anger they have been harboring in themselves. That's why I'm saying it is constant. It never gets diluted until you deal with it. That is where you find that someone got angry 3 days ago, but they have been planning on something and they will execute it in a fourth day or a fifth day. And then you are wondering, today she looked so calm. Nothing, she didn't look like there was anything. Hata ikiwa alikosewa, it was about 4 days ago, because it remains very constant until you deal with it. Sometimes maybe when you look at the primary emotions, some of them with time you can be able to have a small self-talk. But now this one is a bit intense. Remember, it is not in the primary, it is now in the secondary level.
Yes.
Just as we have the primary education
Yes.
is a bit tamed,
Yes.
but now more content in the secondary.
Mhm.
So anything that is secondary is stronger than in primary. So when you find that these effects are in your body, they will affect you negatively. Some of the people will get psychosomatic disorders from it.
True.
Because you find that out of the acidity, someone gets ulcers.
Yes.
Out of the racing heartbeat, someone can get a cardiac problem.
Yes.
You know, some of these things. And at times when you're angry, you feel like your shoulders are so tensed, your muscles, even in the whole body. You hear people talk about, I went to the hospital having a backache. I went to the hospital having my shoulder paining, and I was told that I have muscle spasms because all the tests that were done, there was nothing. But you can imagine you have been having a lot of tension. You have tensed your muscles because of the anger that you have been holding in yourself. When we come to the cognitive part, because in my brain, what happens when I have this anger that I've been harboring in myself and it has built and it is not going away and I'm still with it? You find that you cannot be able to think right, and you cannot be able which word do I use? You cannot be able to bring out a concrete decision in it. You are like I am tired of thinking. I am tired of, and then you even get irritable. People come near you. The eye you give them is the eye tells you, please, I have a thick boundary. Don't come near me.
Don't disturb.
Don't disturb.
Yeah.
I am full.
Major.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is self-directed.
Yes.
And all what is going on in there.
Yes.
And I'm not aware that Jennifer is going through that, is having that intense anger.
Yes.
That has not been diluted. And it was 4 or 5 days ago, and I'm interacting with her now. And probably I do something that will remind her of the person who angered them, for example. So let us first concentrate there and look at this person, the self-directed anger. What are some of the symptoms that shows that I am angry to the people that I'm living with? Yes.
One, you're very irritable. Two, as I'm saying, you put a boundary, and you say, this is a no-go zone. Please don't come near me. So as much as we will be irritable, and someone does something or says something, and you get back on them with a statement, and they are like, where did that come from? But you can imagine it's because the inner you is negative, because of the negative energy you're getting from the anger. Again, when we say that I just want to keep to myself, I don't want to interact with other people, I don't want to socialize. You find that at one moment you find that because of the literal energy you have, all the positive energy in you has been consumed by the anger. So you have very little. So you have no space for anybody else. So you just find that you want to keep to yourself. And at that time when you're keeping to yourself, there's so much that is going on in your mind. So sometimes we need also to be very careful, we people who are living, because we are social.
Yeah.
When someone changes and you find that they are behaving in a certain way, it's good to check on them and see, could they be angry? What is this that is bothering them? Because we don't become productive, even at place of work, even at home, you find that because as I'm saying that you have neutral energy, you don't want to mix with other people. Here you are, even when you have a task to do, you get so tired. And you are like, I can only do half of it. Or at times I cannot even do it. I will just sit and just check. Like we mothers in the house, you're wondering, do I cook breakfast for them? Do I wash the clothes? They are too overwhelming for you because already you are overwhelmed with the anger that is in you. Yes. And again, you find that when you are angry, there's a feeling of I reject them. Yes, I reject them, and I'm not only rejecting the people, I reject even the activities. Away from even not having the energy, there's that rejection of anything or anyone or any statement that comes. And even when people are trying to reach you, people are looking and saying, this is not the genuine no. And you feel like you reject them.
Yes.
This, and you can now see that prolonged anger can lead even to mental illnesses. Yeah, you find that now when they start rejecting people, when they stop socializing, when they stop thinking cognitively, by the way, they can find themselves in depression because of their anger, the prolonged anger that they have been holding, they have been harboring themselves. Yes.
They've lost probably a loved one, and they are like, they have withdrawn.
Yes.
They are in the stage of anger. They don't want to talk to somebody, and no one also again is proactive to go to them.
Yes.
It can really bring a lot of issues.
It's true.
That is the person.
Yes.
Sometimes in families we talk about somebody has given you a silent treatment, a meal by mouth, and we just pass it like that. And as you were saying, it's like there's something going on in this person.
Yes,
that treatment is not just normal. There's something that is going on. But we say, alinikosea, so wacha akae. But it is having other issues, as you've said, that this person may be going through mental issues, mental health issues, and it is not good for their health. It's not. Okay, let's go to the other directed anger.
Yes. We see, we have assumed that and made a decision that she did something that made me angry because there was some expectation from me.
Yes.
We have set a bar. And I've set a bar for her, and I've not communicated to her. And you see, for example, let me take up a very practical example when people are coming to the studio. I told Jennifer to come at 6:15.
Yes.
I'm just giving an example.
Yes.
So she comes at 6:30. And Jen does not tell Jennifer that you got late. So Jen gets angry, and just because Jennifer did something that was against the expectations of Jen, I expected her to be at 6:15. She has come at 6:30. But now because we have to go to the studio and record, can we go and do it? So you keep that to yourself. But where is this one coming from? From Jennifer. And the expectation that you had set for Jennifer. Just the way as parents we do. We set expectations for our children. And we set them because we are coming from somewhere. When I was young, I would have wanted to be the teacher. But now, because my parents didn't take me to school, I want my daughter or my son to be a teacher. So what will I do? I will set that expectation for them. I will not even communicate to them. But then they go to school and they take another line. They become maybe a policeman. And every day I look at them. I am looking at the policeman who I wanted to be a teacher. And then I'll be getting angry with them for that. But it's because I set expectations and I never mentioned it to them.
You never communicated. So I'm not aware.
Yes.
It is an unmet expectation for you.
Yes.
Because you are expecting, but it's not going to be fulfilled. So you get angry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you find that we need one.
Yeah.
Just maybe I would just have to talk about the remedy that you need to do for that.
Yes.
Because you find that most of the times when we have people with us, we always put expectations. In all stages and all in levels and everywhere in life, even when you're interacting with the environment, even your own environment, you're putting expectations. I have my studio. I need this studio to remain clean. But so that's your expectation. But you can imagine the many people you bring in here. When it is muddy, they come in muddy shoes. So Jane gets angry because we have made her carpet. And now she's quiet. This anger has come because of an expectation and an action from another person. But now you carry it with you. And then from there, you start dealing with something that you don't even know. But it's because you set an expectation. So we need one to identify that. The expectations that I need one to communicate to the other people that this is how I want things done. You can when you look at let's take an example of an exam in a school.
Yes.
We have instructions.
Yes.
So give instructions of your expectations. This is how I want things done.
Yes.
So that at least now the other people will understand that this is how Jane wants her things done.
Yes.
So they will either meet the expectation or they will tell you, I can't do it that way because I also have my own way of doing things. So when we give instructions or when we communicate to the other people, this is how I want it done, it becomes a bit bitter. So we will not bring out frustrations that can lead to anger out of what is happening with the expectations that we have set. Again, we need always remember that the expectations that I make, they are only measurable and they are only smart to me. So I am the only one who can account. I can only ask myself and demand an explanation from myself for the expectations. Because that is one mistake that we all make. That we are making our expectations and we are expecting other people to get to the level that we want. I'm the only one who can do something the way I want it done, Jane. So out of that, you would now be able to see if I said something, I communicated to them, but they didn't meet that expectation, I'll remember and tell myself, this was my level. This is how I wanted it. It was not the way they wanted it done. It was about me. So if they have not done it the way I wanted it done, I can do it. Or I can assign this assignment to someone who would be professional or who is good in doing it so that it can be done my way. So can you see now when you do that, you will be very conscious about, I will not get angry. Because remember what we said at the beginning, anger does not come fast. Yes. So I will not get angry because I'll be like, my expectations are my standards. And I'm the only one who can, I know how many times I want to wipe that table and how I want it wiped. So if not a professional who is doing it, then someone I have realized that does it so well, or I do it myself. So let's set expectations that are back to ourselves, that we can measure, that we can be able to have this self-talk that they are mine. I can own them. So now if they are not, if I'm not meeting them myself, then I get someone to meet them my way, and I like give explanations, or I drop them so that we can reduce the anger that comes from other places. When we come to, as you said about grief, and mostly when we are grieved, we are angry about the person who is gone, and we are angry with God.
Yes.
Why? Where were you when this was happening to me? You created me and you told me that I will have life in abundance. How do you just snatch my mother? How do you just snatch my child from me? I thought in abundance is being happy and feeling that things are working out for me well. So when we find ourselves getting angry at that level, we need now to look at, to get back. Why am I angry at God? Is it right to get angry at God? So what am I trying to say? Even that anger that you be oriented coming to you from other people or other places, you need to always have a self-talk. And when you have a self-talk, when you are angry, you'll not be fast to throwing words, throwing tantrums, or even doing an action.
And how many times, Jennifer, Now, Jennifer, let us now look at, I am angry. Are there some different ways or styles I can express my anger?
There are. You know, when you have used the word style, I'm like, the way we have different styles of dressing. And I'm like, just it's the same way, by the way we bring out our anger. It will be, you know, the style that you love is different from mine in dressing.
Yes, of course.
Yes. So it will be different the way I bring out anger and the way you bring out anger. So we have different styles. We have different ways of letting the world know. I am angry because you not stay with it forever, hiding it in you. But at one point, people are going to know. By the way, I think things are different.
Yeah, different.
Yes.
And I think before, let me interrupt you there. When we talk about a style, it is something that we have developed over time, because it is not a one thing. That the way I dress, for example, is not. I just woke up one morning and say, this is a way. It's a builder. So when you're talking about anger in terms of styles, it is something that is developed. It grows.
So at one point you hear someone say that I have some bloating, just as we talked about how it presents itself. Or you hear someone talk about the ulcers. Or you are at one point they are like, they didn't come to work, they went to hospital.